Today I'm gonna talk about the ammo mod Brain Rot in Black Ops 6 Zombies. It's of course the ammo mod that will turn zombies into friendly zombies that then will attack others and kill zombies for you. And this ammo mod has been around ever since BO3 zombies, so it's been a while. Is it still as useful in this iteration of Call of Duty Zombies? Well, today we're gonna find out, because I'm gonna discuss Brain Rot's major and minor augments, and at the end of the video I will give you the best build in my opinion for taking out a bunch of zombies with this ammo mod. I already covered Cryo Freeze and Shadow Rift in my latest videos, so be sure to give them a watch too if you're interested in the performance of other ammo mods. But with that being said, let's jump into it. Before going over its major and minor augments, I again want to discuss Brain Rot as an elemental weakness ammo mod. Because certain enemies like special and elite zombies in BO6 are weak against certain ammo mods. And in the case of Brain Rot, the only elite zombie that's actually weak against Brain Rot is the Abomination, so I went ahead and tested that out. I loaded in Liberty Falls and waited until I got the Abomination to spawn, and then, well, I just shot it. And as you can see right now on the screen, it is doing elemental weakness damage to the Abomination, as indicated by the Brain Rot symbol lighting up. And yeah, it's noticeable and it for sure helps when fighting against the Abomination. But here's the thing, the Abomination, the elite zombie, has 3 heads that are also its biggest weakness. So naturally, regardless of the ammo mod that you pick, as long as you shoot your weapon into the big glowing mouths of the Abomination, you will do some decent damage. And yeah, Brain Rot helps, but it's not really necessary in the case of the Abomination. Would it be a different special or elite zombie? Then yeah. But in the case with Brain Rot and the Abomination, it's really not necessary to pick this ammo mod in order to kill it. So as long as you shoot the heads, like I said, you are good. Making the necessity of Brain Rot as an elemental weakness ammo mod really low. But with that being said, let's discuss the major augments now. There we first have Plague, which states that charmed enemy has a chance to turn other enemies. And yes, if we use our default Brain Rot ammo mod with this major augment equipped, you will have a chance that your Brain Rotted zombie will actually turn other zombies when fighting them. And that's just practical because it means that you will get more kills. And in the best case scenario, you will pick other minor augments that enhance this effect, making you basically do chain reactions with other zombies. But I will get to that. For now, let's move on to the other major augment called Pheromone, which states that charmed enemy distracts nearby normal and special enemies for a short time. So it's basically a decoy or monkey bomb effect on your turned zombie. I of course tried that out and the duration is actually 5 seconds, so for 5 seconds your Brain Rotted zombie will just stand there, distract other zombies, and yeah, they will just go to him. It's important to mention that your Brain Rotted zombie will just stand there and not fight the other zombies. They are just here for distraction. But the effect in itself is really useful because it gets the zombies away from you. Should you get stuck or overwhelmed with zombies, this could actually save your life. And of course, like the description says, it also attracts special zombies, and those are manglers. And on higher rounds there are tons of manglers spawning, making this a really useful augment to pick. And with that being said, let's move on to the final major augment called Big Game, which states Brain Rot can charm elite enemies as well. And of course, elite enemies are the Abomination and Amalgam on Terminus. And we actually have to discuss this one, because this augment is so bad that you can't believe it. Allow me to explain. Yes, Brain Rot can turn zombies into friendly zombies that then will kill other zombies for you, and at the end of the activation, they will just die. Now, that's also the case for special zombies like manglers. You can also turn them with default Brain Rot, but you will notice that they will not die after the Brain Rot effect has vanished. They will just still be alive and make your life a living hell. Just like manglers tend to do. Now, if we use the Big Game augment and turn an elite zombie, like the Abomination or Amalgam, into a friendly ally, it will also just be for a short duration, and at the end of its effect, they will go back to being aggressive enemy zombies. Now, get this, if you turn an Abomination to your friendly ally, it can for sure help with decimating the zombies for a short while. And now in the case with the Amalgam on Terminus, it's like you're turning the Amalgam into a friendly ally, which then will consume other zombies for you, but in turn, it will heal itself. So while it's your ally, it can actually recover health, And you can't do anything about it because it's an ally. You can't do damage to the amalgam at this point. And when it's done, the effect is gone. You still have to defeat the amalgam, now more powerful than before, probably. And this just makes it the worst ammo mod to pick against big elite enemies. You're just making your life harder than it needs to be. Here's the thing from previous Call of Duty zombie games. If you turned a special or elite zombie with brain rot, they were on your side, and at the end of its effect, they would just simply die, making you not worry about them anymore. But here in BO6, they just stay alive. And brain rot as an ammo mod got really one of the biggest nerfs of all time, because now it's really useless against special and elite enemies. But now let's move on to the minor augments, and there we first have extension, which states brain rot duration is slightly increased. I of course tested that as well, and the default brain rot duration was around 15 seconds on average, and when I used extension it was 22 seconds on average. So yeah, you got like a few more seconds where the zombies are brain rotted, making them kill more zombies for you. So of course this is not a bad augment to pick, it just elevates your default brain rot experience by making it a bit longer. Next we have the minor augment called Haste, which states brain rot cooldown is slightly reduced. Now to be honest, it's always a bit of a struggle to get the default and reduced cooldown duration time for brain rot or any other ammo mods, because they seem to vary a bit, at least from my experience. I would say the normal default brain rot cooldown is around a minute until you can activate it again, and with the reduced timer for the Haste augment, I would say it's around 40 to 50 seconds. And I always forgot to mention that, but of course, if you use Elemental Pop as a perk with the right augments that reduce the cooldown anyways, yeah, this one is even better. Just keep that in mind. If you use ammo mods in any way, you might as well also buy Elemental Pop as a perk. And finally, we have the third minor augment called Explosive, which states charmed enemies explode at the end of brain rot's duration, dealing toxic damage. And I tried that out, and yes, the zombie at the end of its brain rotted phase will then explode, killing more zombies in the process. And the amount of kills that you get with that is also not bad. But I will talk about that in a moment when we are discussing possible combinations of augment builds. For now, I just want to say that Explosive is a useful augment to pick, and yeah, you can't go wrong with it. Now that we have talked about the minor and major augments for brain rot, let's also discuss some potential builds. And I know what you're thinking right now. We just learned about the minor augment Explosive that will explode zombies at the end of its brain rotted phase. So why not combine that minor augment with the major augment Big Game in order to actually take down elite enemies? After all, they will explode at the end, therefore killing them, right? So I tested that, and no, it will not explode elite enemies when they are done being your ally. They will simply keep the same amount of health they had before you turned them. And at the end of brain rot's duration, when they are no longer your ally, they just explode and at best do some more damage around surrounding zombies. But that's about it. So this is not a good combination to run. Sorry. Let's talk about chain reactions. Because there's a possible build that will allow for brain rotted zombies to turn other zombies, and then you can have like a small chain reaction going on with more zombies turning all the time and therefore killing more zombies in the process. If you use the combination Plague and Extension, you can actually make that happen. Because with the ability of your brain rotted zombie to turn other zombies when he's attacking them, combined with the longer duration effect of 22 seconds instead of 15 seconds, it's actually possible to have a decent chain reaction going on. However, in my opinion, there's an even better build for brain rot, and that's using the two augments called Pheromone and Explosive. Allow me to explain. If you have a full train of zombies behind you and then turn around to brain rot one of them, the brain rotted zombie will then attract all of the other zombies coming from the train, and then at the end of its brain rot duration, it will just explode, killing like 10 to 20 zombies in the process, guaranteed. So basically that means that you can take out a whole horde of zombies at once. And in my opinion, ammo is kind of a problem in this game, so taking out a whole bunch of zombies with one activation sounds good to me. Now of course, it all depends on your playstyle. There's no perfect solution for everybody. If your goal is to grind camos, then brain rot is simply not an ammo mod for you, since you are the one leveling up weapons and unlocking camos or whatever. So brain rot is good if you're going for high rounds and just care about getting a lot of zombie kills. But that's basically it. That's my review for brain rot. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned some new insights for this ammo mod. And like I said, don't use Big Game, the augment that allows Brain Rot to actually turn elite zombies, because this is not helpful at all in this game. Yeah, with that being said, let me know what you think and what other combinations I have missed. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I see you next time. Thanks for watching.